Yes, we'll need them. We'll get them to sign it. We'll pass it around. Sure.
All right. Follow Toastmasters. It's now our duty and privilege to induct new members into SpeakTV Media Masters. This is an important occasion, both for new members and for the club. Individuals come to Toastmasters seeking to improve their communications and leadership skills, and we have an opportunity to help them grow and achieve. I now invite our new members forward and ask them to join to the front of the room. Susan Watkins. Let's give Susan a round of applause.
Susan who?
Susan Watkins, I said. As member of Toastmasters, you will benefit from a proven program of self-development. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve and to share our knowledge and experiences with fellow members in a spirit of enjoyment. We encourage you to work towards your own self-development, which I know you have. Evaluate other speeches in a spirit of support and sharing. Remain positive and assist the club in reaching its goals. I ask you to dedicate yourself to personal growth, to share the gift with your fellow members, and to help this Toastmaster Club be strong and dynamic. Please face your fellow members and affirm your membership by stating the pledge in unison. In the presence of the fellow Toastmasters, I make this firm obligation to attend meetings regularly, to participate
actively in SpeakTV's video challenges, to prepare fully for each leadership and speaking project, to apply myself to the programs outlined in the Toastmasters Manual, to participate actively in club activities, to evaluate others in a positive, constructive manner, to build open, friendly relationships with my fellow members, and to bring other members, new members, into the club so they can also gain the benefits of Toastmasters.
Great. Now, Elena,
Just make everybody
Alana, fellow Toastmasters, let's see, where are we?
To invite all Toastmasters to stand and state this Toastmasters pledge to its members. Some of you may or may not know this. We'll help you out. As Toastmasters, we pledge to support you in your quest for self-development, to provide you with positive, helpful evaluations, to maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere, to give you opportunities to help others, and to make your Toastmasters membership a rewarding and fulfilling experience.
Thank you.
This is our new member, Susan.
Congratulations, Susan. Great to have you aboard.
Show her the secret handshake now.
Yeah.
Get a discount longer.
Excellent. And at this portion of our show, for lack of a better term, I'm going to turn it over to our Toastmaster for this meeting, our Vice President of Membership, Ms. Gail Rust.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, Gail.
Well, here we are, Saturday morning, the place to be. I'm excited to have all of you here and be your Toastmaster this morning. Our word for today is Hallmark. We have a Hallmark group of people here to celebrate being part of SpeakTV. So we want to find out some of the roles and let's talk about those. Who is our general evaluator?
Greg Allen.
Greg, why don't you share with us what the general evaluator does?
Good morning, everybody. The general evaluator is the one responsible for critiquing the entire meeting, basically evaluating not only not the speakers, but the evaluators, the general tone of the meeting, style of the meeting, the tempo of the meeting. So I will be taking lots of notes and I'll spend my time scribbling so that at the end I can reveal what I hope is a hallmark event for everybody.
So every time you say the word Hallmark, you get a little slash from our grammarian, who is Kathy Shine.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Listening is the hallmark of the role of the odd counter grammarian. My duties in the odd counter role are to listen and pay attention to those crutch sounds and words that we use as fillers that could easily be removed from our language to improve the quality of our communication. I'll also be listening to great examples of the English language, uses of alliteration, assonance, triads, imagery, etc. A great example, Greg just gave us one. He said he'll be watching and paying attention for style, style, tone, and tempo. That's an example of a triad, a grouping of 3 words used together to describe something in particular. So he gave us a great example there. I'll also be recording the use of our word of the day, which is hallmark. You'll notice it's noted at the bottom of our board, meaning a quality, skill, or ability that is typical of a particular person or thing. It's only because my glasses don't give me that kind of clarity. The example in the sentence there says, leadership is the hallmark of Toastmasters. At the end of the meeting, I'll give a report. Thank you so much.
Yay! Thank you, Kathy. And I think we have one more, the timer. Who's our timer today?
Teresa.
I'm,
Jim. I can't read it, sorry.
it is Teresa. Good morning.
Teresa.
I'm the timer and I'm slow. I look forward to timing speeches and table topics and letting you know how closely you fall within the range that you hope to hit, because it keeps us all a little bit more conscious of exactly how much time we're using from the people that we love and respect. Thank you.
Do you have this too?
Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. And Teresa has an important role because time is everything in Toastmasters. We want to keep everything in line and moving very smoothly. All right, let's see. Dennis isn't here.
Nope, not yet. Dennis, probably Jillian then.
You're
Jillian?
talking about speakers?
Yes.
Correct.
Dennis is with us on video.
Oh, he is?
Oh, he is?
He did submit it.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, I could put his video right off of Facebook.
All
Oh, I
right.
thought you said he didn't have it. Perfect. Wonderful.
I do
The
have it.
evaluator is,
Our evaluator for Dennis is Teresa again? No.
Sounds like she has many roles.
sounds like
Yeah,
Alana's
there must
gonna
be
do
someone
that.
else
It
that
looks like we
can
have
do
some
it.
other members here who might be able to step in.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Irv,
Sure.
would you like to evaluate?
Who's that? Herb was down. No. Okay.
I know,
so,
but Teresa wanted Susan, but then it's okay.
all right.
It was
so
my
we're gonna
error.
have
So who's,
Herb
oh, you
is,
have one.
Oh, I'll take another one.
Irv, can I see your voice for your last name?
Okay.
We're ready for Dennis.
All right, and I am ready to put in.
Is there an introduction for Dennis?
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? The short answer is no.
All right. Well, here is Dennis Miller. And the top, pardon me?
Dennis Martin?
Dennis
Martin, I'm sorry, Martin.
And it will be just a moment while I am pulling his video up. In the meantime, Gail has a song and dance.
Should I give Dennis an introduction?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Perfect.
Dennis Martin has been a Toastmaster for just over a year. He achieved his CC in near record time, and he has participated in many area contests. And I look forward to seeing him on video. There he is.
Oh.
Wait, are you his evaluator?
No,
You are.
But I just
Correct, all right. I want to make sure.
I would like to add one more thing to Dennis's introduction, is that Dennis is a retired City of Milwaukee HVAC worker who is looking for something in his retirement. He joined Toastmasters hoping to improve his speaking ability. Dennis has found his voice and has overcome some of the hurdles of technology. If you take a look, this YouTube video has over 60 views. So Dennis went from, again, 0 to 60 very quickly, literally. And with that, Dennis has found he's marrying his passion for speaking with his passion for football. Dennis is not really a closet Oakland Raiders fan, as you'll find out. But in his speech, which is 5 minutes and 4 seconds, which qualifies for a speech, ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Martin.
This is Dennis the Wolfman Martin. I'm here to give congratulations
Sound up a
to
little.
the 2015 Raiders. Weren't they fantastic? Don't they give you hope for the future? I can't wait until next season. My silver and black blood that runs through my veins is boiling. Special thanks to owner Mark Davis, who took over the Raiders from his father, Al Davis, one of the greatest football minds of all time. Congratulations, Mark. I see you have the same commitment to excellence. It's time for you to put your mark on the Raiders. Fill the shoes of your father, Al. And you're doing a great job. You brought in Reggie McKenzie, who brought players in. He brought in Jack Del Rio and the coaching staff. A special thanks to Reggie and Jack. Jack is the coach of the future for the Raiders. I see nothing but great things. The players, the quarterback. Let's talk about Derek Carr, one of the up-and-coming quarterbacks in the NFL. With a little tweaking on his game, I believe he'll be all-pro next year, and they'll talk about him in the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. It will happen. The receiving core is great. The offensive line knows what it's doing. Tight ends, running backs. We may need 1 or 2 individuals on offense, but things are set. The defense, Khalil Mack. They will miss Charles Woodson. Wouldn't it be great if Charles came back and coached with Rod Woodson? Both Woodsons on the coaching staff. 2 of the greatest defensive players in NFL history. Wow, I can't wait. I can't wait for new plays like the Ghost of the Post, the Holy Roller, the Sea of Hands. I can see Janikowski breaking the NFL field goal kicking record. I see Ford becoming the best kicker in the NFL. It's going to be a great time for Raider fans. The next 10 years is going to be fantastic. I see Super Bowls. We will again be more than proud to wear our Raider gear in public. The silver and black, in the words of Lester Hayes, will dictate and dominate the NFL again. This will be a tribute to all the Raider players of the past, especially people like Jim Otto, Hubbard and Banasack, Stabler, Casper, Blitnikoff, Jack Tatum. The list goes on and on and on. Lyle Elzado. It will be a fantastic time. There will be a commitment to excellence like we've never seen. I see it flourishing. So join me next season as the Raiders climb to victory. This is Dennis the Wolfman Martin signing off. We'll see you then. I pity the Denver Broncos, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the San Diego Chargers. Goodbye.
David, was he using a prompter?
No, he was not. And I'm just gonna comment just briefly. How many of you know Dennis Martin? Show of hands. Okay, so you know Dennis. Dennis is not a polished speaker yet, but in some ways, he's a very accomplished speaker, don't get me wrong. Dennis crafted this message very carefully. He did it this way. Dennis meant to be somewhat provocative and absolutely to bring bravado to his performance. You think he succeeded? Mm-hmm. Okay. Dennis did this with a cell phone. Raise your hand if you have a cell phone. You can do this. If Dennis can do it, you can do it, because Dennis, bless his heart,
Doesn't want even email.
has been one of the most technologically challenged people to walk through our SpeakTV door. I think that would be a fair thing. And Dennis would be here today, but he's got company from out of town, and so he wasn't able to make it. But he did make a point. He made an effort to make sure that he was represented at this meeting. And for that, yeah, I think that deserves a with that brief thing, Dennis can do it, you can do it. It's not rocket science. You can get your message out and you can put it on the internet. And it could be for whatever your purposes are. You get to choose it. Dennis is doing football. Yes, Kathy?
I want to add in one other comment. I don't know if you have been watching Dennis, but he has been posting videos regularly to his Facebook page. And one of the things that has been commented on in the past at SpeakTV is when you are posting videos, send out a notification to your club members and ask for feedback. So for the past couple of weeks, every time he posts something new, Kathy's constructive feedback, and I offer opportunities for growth or improvement, as well as where I think that the strengths lie within his presentations. And I think that this is an element that as SpeakTV Toastmasters, it is part of our job, if I understand correctly, that we are to be critiquing one another when we're doing our videos. So it's an opportunity to do something outside of the club environment, since the club only meets one time a month, to still be engaged, to still give constructive feedback, and to help each other grow.
Thank you. I think that's an excellent point. Yes, Greg.
Do we have access to each other's emails, social media presence, etc.? Is there some place
we can? We also have an open Facebook group called SpeakTV on Facebook,
Okay.
where you can upload video and chat amongst each other, or, hey, take a look at my video, it's on YouTube, here's the link. And if you add the link to your comment, when people click on that, it will play it. So it's like they go to YouTube to see it. So you can put videos up there.
Because I think that's a great idea, and to be able to throw something up there, whether it's 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and say, tell me what you think, is a very, very valuable tool, as opposed to just getting it once a month or when you're here.
Absolutely. Who sees a commercial application for this? Who could use this in their business or doing something? Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, this is the place to be. Now with that, we are going to, I'm going to turn it back over to Gail.
Yeah, she puts her lipstick on.
And
I'm such a glamour girl.
You are. We love that about you.
Because I'll be right there with you. And who is our timer? Actually, Teresa, we are going to ask you to step into the room while Jillian is giving her speech so you can time her visually, if that would be okay. Now, the rest of you are in for a treat, because this is how we would like our speakers to be in the future. Now, this is me kind of pushing for that, and there are others that really, it's hard to work without the feedback of the crowd. because when you can make eye contact with people, you can also tell if you're putting them to sleep or not just by seeing. So important things.
All right.
What is Jillian's title?
Jillian's title in the club is vice.
No, I'm talking about the title of her speech.
Oh, let's call it Intro to One-to-One Info.
Intro?
To One-to-One Info. Dave, do you have another easel?
Yes, I will bring it easy.
Julie, what's your last name?
You know, I think this is really amazing. This is a great idea because, we don't get to really see how we are. I mean, we get the impression of what other people think through their comments, their eyes, whatever. But you don't really get to see it, and your own personal critique is going to have much greater impact and value than what anybody else could tell you, because I really don't care what you guys think.
I'm way under 5. I'm way under 5.
Well, let me tell you what I know about Jillian. She's a lovely girl, and she lives in Madison, so she makes the trek here from Madison every day, or once a month. And I think that says something for her character. She won last month for her table topic. She did a quick little presentation in the shower, if you will, and it was just delightful. She couldn't be here, so we had it on video, and she won our table topic that day, right? She shared her goals, I think, with us, and it was just delightful. It was fun. So I'm expecting a good presentation today from Jillian. She'll give it her best, and what more can I say? Anyone else have anything they want to say about Jillian? Jillian, are you ready?
Not quite, they're still setting up some
We're
boards.
still setting up, okay.
I have a use for the word hallmark.
Oh, what is it?
I found my way to this room from the parking lot observing the hallmarks.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Without them, I wouldn't be here.
That's right. And what were those hallmarks?
SpeakTV, the place to be, this way.
All right.
Hallmark cards.
Hallmark cards,
Hallmark
just like it.
cards,
You give it to me that way. I'll give you the green. No. Give me the green as 5. Okay. Because then I'll know for sure.
We can hear you well, you guys are loud.
Oh, that way I know I'm almost okay.
We can hear you, Jillian.
There she is.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is David Kokel, and I am about to introduce Miss Jillian Sender with her speech entitled
One-to-one info.
One-to-One Info. One-to-One Info, Jillian Sender.
I have an artist's soul, yet I work in insurance. Now, quite candidly, I work in insurance because, well, I went broke doing my artwork and my writing and all my other creative endeavors. Yes, I can tell you about the starving artist's lifestyle, but that's another speech, another day. But I ended up working in advertising, and for a while it was very exciting, lots of new, different types of experiences. But then something happened. Now, people who know some recent history might understand what I'm talking about. It was called the Great Recession. And so I ended up working in the newspaper industry that was imploding, dealing with the Great Recession. And so things became sort of topsy-turvy and crazy in my life. And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, it did. Man I was seeing decided to attempt suicide at my house, drove his car off of the cliff near my house. Very difficult time in my life. And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse than that, in 2010, 6 weeks after this traumatic accident, I was diagnosed with cancer. Oh, and because of all the different things in my life, I didn't have insurance.
Right.
So, You think you have problems?
Been there.
I have drama. I have massive, massive drama. So, while I was newly single, basically working in an industry that was struggling and dealing with a major health crisis, I was told I had to have surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. So not only was I going through all this, I was going to be bald. Well, what happened was, I decided to make the best of it. I decided to view all the things that were happening in my life as almost as if the universe had given me a gift. Now, I know for most people that's going to sound absolutely crazy and insane, and it doesn't make sense. And I have to tell you, for most of the people in my close circle of family, they thought I had really gone mashugana, and that's Yiddish for crazy. But I told you, even though I work in the insurance industry, I have a creative soul. And you know what? When you have nothing to lose, why not? So I decided to call my little adventure my cruise of well-being. Now I called it a cruise because before this whole crisis had started in my life, I was actually saving some money to go on a real life cruise. And clearly that was no longer part of my life. So I decided to call it a cruise of well-being, and I decided to just pretend I was on a cruise. The captain of my ship was my main number one doctor, and everybody around me was people who were waiting on me. And that this was going to be just one adventure. And one of the ways I decided to turn it into a venture is I decided to join Toastmasters. And I decided to sort of create a little travel log about these experiences. And to my surprise, I found my voice while doing this. Now, I wouldn't recommend going through what I did to join Toastmasters. But what it showed me is that you can, or at least I can't speak for you, I can only speak for me. What it showed me was that I can, with some deliberate effort and concentrated thought, turn whatever was happening around that might be viewed as a crisis or a drama into an experience in which on some deeper level I chose. And that this wasn't happening to me, it was happening for me. And with that concentration of attitude, I decided to totally change my whole life. And I ended up getting recovered from all the cancer treatment and all the different things that went with it. I found myself at first struggling to find a job, and with some help from a friend, I ended up landing in a corporate job, ironically in the insurance industry. Some miracles happened and I didn't have insurance, and then I did. So all sorts of things, wonderful things started happening very quickly and wonderfully in my life. Started working in Madison. And then about 6 months, 9 months after that, another interesting event happened. I decided to join a team of people who were other recovering women from cancer, started training for a triathlon, and I flipped over my bike, the handlebars of my bike, landed on my head, and ended up in the ICU for over 5 days. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole scope of what happened there, except to tell you, ironically, my company's insurance calendar year was July 1st. My accident happened on June 22nd. So ICU was covered and all my recovery was not, so I had to start another deductible and co-payments. So anyway, the point is all of this is that I have lots of things that have happened to me. But I can tell you now that with the right attitude and the right thinking, no matter what happens, it can turn into a miracle and a blessing. Now, my insurance decided that this scar, if you look carefully, it looks like a Harry Potter sort of thing, where it wasn't medically necessary to remove it. At first I didn't like it, but now I use it to remind me that I have the power. I have the power. So why am I sharing this story? Because I know there are other people out there who are struggling with medical issues, financial issues. They're struggling to find work. Perhaps they're underemployed or unemployed or underemployed. Unemployed or, sorry. The point is, I'm not saying I have your answers, but I've learned through many guides and many teachers a hallmark of experience to push me through to find solutions. And that's what this whole website is about, is to provide you with the information and processes to help you. So I urge you to sign up right here for our most up-to-date information. Thank you.
Okay, now the clapping.
You are quite theatrical.
Yes.
Get a camera in front of me and
Do you like the camera?
Did you like that experience?
what I should have done was, I was worried I wasn't going to have long enough to talk, so I totally ad-libbed. And I should have worked my original speech.
It was great.
It was great. It was great. We didn't know where the ad lib started and the speech began. Right?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gail, do you want to be
Oh, I'm
Toastmaster in
sorry.
between the transition here?
Yeah.
Do a song and dance?
Well, maybe Gail, as a leader, to let us know what's happening. For those of our guests who maybe have not been here before, what's
I don't even know what's happening.
Susan is getting ready for her speech. She's putting a couple of notes on the marker board.
Okay. So what is Dave talking about, a marker board? You know, you don't have to do this speech necessarily from memory. You can use boards. That's the appeal of this. That if you're not sure of what your speech is, you can use boards like this, make notes, you know, so you've got something to track. And I think that's really, really valuable and helpful. When you think if you're a new speaker that you would want something to look at and support you. So that's available to you. And really now Susan is doing her icebreaker. What's an icebreaker? An icebreaker is your first speech. To tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, who you are, where you live, what's happening in your life. Just real straightforward and simple. That's an icebreaker. And we encourage first members to do an icebreaker.